menstrual health.
In our own experience, Girls Act Philippines had helped us mold to who we are today by telling our stories to others and by listening also. It had a great influence for us to continue our advocacy. Because of Girls Act Philippines, we became socially aware about the issues we face in the country, such as high cases of teenage pregnancy and the limited access to contraceptives and sexual reproductive health care. We had realized that these things are important since it is the bare minimum for us human beings.
We also learned that sex education really is significant in our generation. It should be put in our education system so that others would also be knowledgeable to this topic. With this discrimination and stigma are avoided and prevented.
So, lectures about puberty are also done to other young girls who have just gotten into the world of maturity. Education about their menstrual health is crucial as these topics should not only be taught to children, but also to their parents. Girls Act made me realize that the changes in our body, like for an example, pimple breakouts, are normal. It should be normalized because it is human nature. We should change the society's image that the person should be perfect or flawless. We must always remember that we are beautiful, regardless of what's happening in our body due to puberty.
Girls Act Philippines also taught us about the different kinds of abuses that a young child and woman faces, and made us aware that there are hotlines and organizations that are willing to help them. We want to influence those who are silently fighting that they are not alone. We are here for them no matter what. Well, these issues are not only seen in the Philippines. It is also present in other countries as well. Hence, it is important to take an action.
So, as Girls Act Philippines, we had done programs such as HIV and AIDS awareness and testing here in our place. So, seminars about SRHR or sexual reproductive health and rights, and educational assistance. So, educational assistance was a big help for us since we experienced difficulties financially, especially where we are in the midst of the pandemic.
The program of Girls Act Philippines is a big help to the ambassadors and also to the young girls. We want to let the world know or universe rather, that the girls are strong, smart, independent, and courageous. We are not just ordinary women. We are women.
Empowered girls, brighter future.
Thank you very much.
Definitely. Well said. Well said. Thank you so much for sharing that. It was really powerful and beautiful. And I think, again, just showing the unity that we can have when we all come together and we question the social values at hand that have continued to discriminate against girls or menstruators, right? And so that was really powerful. Thank you so much. Let's jump to another side of the world and hear a little bit from our representatives from Nepal. Can we hear from Rinku? Rinku Kumari Thakur? Can you hear us, Rinku? Okay, perfect. You can turn on your camera if you can and your microphone and share a little bit of your experiences with us, please. Okay, I think there are some internet issues. How about Anu? Anu, are you also facing some internet issues? We're so sorry, everyone. Looks like we're having some internet issues with our team from Nepal, but can you hear me, Anu? day of the modern technology, right? Let me see. Okay. Zia Zen, did you want to contribute your experiences if you can hear me and your internet's working?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead and unmute and you can begin. Zia Zen, I might be pronouncing your name incorrectly, but
Yes,
go ahead.
Sorry, there is something internet connection from my side, and I'm also sorry for joining a little bit late since I joined another event online. I'm not sure how many organizations will hold this international goals event in the world, but for HF, we have some countries, we have this event, and for China, Cambodia, they already conducted this event. So since Ari is here, I would like to give a very brief about our activities. Then I will leave some minutes for Adi from HF China. Could you please also share a little bit of your events that conducted in China, maybe yesterday? For Goals Act, we have a lot of goals in 9 countries, and we started in 2000, I think into 2021, and we explained this goals model in more size, and we want to have more size in 2023. We also increase the finance support for this special group. We want to support for some knowledges regarding HIV, STI prevention. We also want to support some school-related issues, and also we want to prevent the pregnancy. This is what we will do. And another really important things we want to do is about to support the goals leadership development. We want them to speak out for their community, speak out for girls. And I'm really happy that HF Philippines girls, they did a very great speaking here. This is also a good practice for our goals. This is a leadership goals. We also want in the future, HF could cooperate with Global South Coalition for Dignified Menstruation more, not just for girls. Maybe we can also extend to do something related to our young population regarding HIV/AIDS in the future. And we will also support our goals to support for the menstruation, the dignified menstruation in December. We will also work with countries to support for this. That's all from my side right now. I would like to give a few minutes to Adi. Adi, would you like to share something related to AHF international goals that you made in China? Over to you, Adi.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Okay, good. Yes, so we had our Girls Act, International Day of Girl Child campaign, both in Linfen Red Ribbon School, which is the only school that's take HIV infected kids, and also in our another partner in Guangxi CDC. So the campaign that we had in Linfen Red Ribbon School was quite interesting, I would like to say. For they started with teaching and then giving space to reflect on being HIV infected kids and their future with the society, and also what they can do, and the famous talented people that being HIV infected in the history. So it's more about, you know, give them a space to talk, to think what they can do, and what the people, their similar people that have done in the past. And then we had the sex education, both for girls and then boys, because it's important to have those adolescents to learn about both sex, both genders. And then we also taught them about what is the idea or the concept of consent, as in, you know, when they're starting to having you know, physical appearances, some people might look at them, some people might say, I'd like to, you know, a little bit of touch. They need to know how to say no. They need to know where are the boundaries for them, especially for girls. And then they ended with this boxing session because they wanted to fulfill the concept, the idea of empowerment, both in mental stage and in physical stage. As in, you know, the girls are as strong as the boys, and even if they're playing the boxing, they can be tough and they can be, you know, strong. So yeah, it's nice, it's fun. The girls, the girls and then the boys, they love the International Day of Girl Child campaign, and they also learned that the saying that they learned that the best you is the you loving yourself. You don't have to be anyone. You don't have to be, you know, like what everybody were the society told you. Just love yourself, then you will be the best you. So yes, that's for China team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adine and Ziazin. It was, I think, really just empowering to hear you speak of how important it is to have both menstruators and non-menstruators to understand equally the importance of their bodies, also how the society sees them, and what the power imbalance is already there, so that they can do their own work to, you know, learn about consent, to learn about sexual health, to know about menstrual health. And I think to, you know, in order to really change substantially the kind of values around society, we're going to have both sides work on it, right? Otherwise, it's never going to actually change and be able to have sustainable changes happen, positive changes happen. And I really love the idea that you said, you know, you have dignity, right? You said if you can just love yourself and be true to yourself and, you know, stay in that way, then that means that, you know, each person comes born with that dignity, and that is what we, you know, strive for in dignified menstruation as well. And all these different components that's necessary for in order for us to have dignity is the access to the body literacy, access to the health services, the you know, access to the ability to be able to live in a world where we're able to obtain that dignity. So thank you so much. Let's have Rinku. I think the internet has stabilized. So Rinku, did you want to share a little bit of your experiences? And we're moving into a little different part of the world now.
Hi, namaste everyone. Happy International Girl Child Day. I am Rinku Kumari Thakur, working as an intern in Global South Coalition of Dignified Menstruation, and I am myself a child marriage survivor. So first I am going to share my story. Okay, when I was 13 years old, and my family asked me to get married, and I say no. But it's the tough thing to say no in my society. But anyhow, I was success at that time, and I convinced my parents, and successfully I start my study. sorry, after that, at the age of 17, again, my parents, my society, my community, everyone forced me to get married. And again, I say no. But that time, I didn't get any support from my family. And I don't have any friend because my friend already had get married. And at that time, I was working in a radio FM as a news reader, and I shared my problem there that I don't want to get married, but my family are forcing me, my society are forcing me, my relatives, everyone is forcing me to get married. No one in my side. And firstly, my boss, he's like a big brother, and he was also shocked that because girls never raise their voice for themselves. And other hand, he was happy too for helping me. So he helped me, he provides some activist number, and I met them. But unfortunately, one of the activists, she told me that you should get married. Don't be don't think too much, you have to get married. And I feel so bad, and I return home. And after that, again, I tried to convince my parents, but I didn't get support. And after that, I met police inspectors, and I shared my problem there. And they say we will support you, but unfortunately, my one of my relative came to my home and asked me that why are you not getting married? And I answered him that I want to be like I want to live my life as a human being, because in my society, female women are treated like anyone or second person. They're always in second option. Okay, uh, and I have experienced that a lot. So I answered like that, and he said, "Don't be dramatic." Okay, and good girl, disciplined girl, never say no to their parents. You have to follow the rules. And but I say no, this time I'm not going to obey you. I i don't want to get married. And he slapped me, and he asked me to commit suicide. He asked me to commit suicide, write a note in a letter, and he gave me poison. Okay. After that, again I said no, I'm not going to die. And he slapped me. Then I shot my door on his face, and he locked me in the door, inside the room. After that, anyhow, I managed to contact police, and after they leave for me only two options: either you get married or you have to commit suicide. But I make myself third option, and I leave my home. And after that, I started staying in transit home in my hometown, and college provide me scholarship in my home place, Birgas, and I continue my work. I continue my work there in FM, but that is very hard things for me, because people in my community, I am still staying in the same community, and they comment me for me very bad, and that is very much torturing. And I decided to leave from there, and I came to Kathmandu. I completed my bachelor degree here, and now I am working with Global South Collaboration on Dignified Menstruation. And here I found, because myself, I hide my menstruation for 1.5 years from my family, because um, at the time of menstruation, there are lots of taboo. You should not do this, you should not do that, you should not pray, you should not participate, you should, and that's why I hide. And nothing happened to me. And while working here, I found out that menstruation is not a curse of God. And then after last time, this time in Dasai, fortunately, I got menstruation at the time of Dasai, and I put tika. Before that, I have put lots of time tika, but I hide my menstruation. And this time, I didn't hide. I make video and put on social media that I got menstruation and I am putting tika. So and how and I believe that menstruation is a key driver for child marriage, because when girl don't speak about their body, if they feel same about menstruation, then how they can speak for their right. So I would like to say we should talk about dignified menstruation. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, Rinku. Wow. Thank you so much for first trusting us to even share that experience, for your bravery, for your continued resistance, at every step, for people who are trying to make you do something that you in your heart and soul did not want to do. And, I'm so grateful that you survived that experience and that you're here now, in the flesh to be able to share that story with us. So I want you to know we're very, very, very proud of you. And this is exactly the reason why these spaces exist, for us to be able to account for all the violence that has happened to us in our life. And this is real, right? Your experience is very real. And unfortunately, it is one that other people have also experienced. And I really like that you pointed out, if you can't even talk about your menstruation, which is a normal biological phenomenon, right? Then how can you say no to big things like marriages and sex and, any of these really important decisions? How can we, have the empowerment to do so? So thank you so, so much. I know I see Anu as well, and Sydney. Is Sydney ready for you to share a little bit of your narrative, or Anu?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
First, सबैजनालाई namaste. My name is Anu Raut from Nepal. I am child artist. I can speak Nepali.
Yes, Anu, and I will translate.
मैले खास गरेर मेरो समाजमा बाल विवाहलाई चाहिँ रोक्नुपर्छ भनेर चाहिँ काम गरिरहेको छु। मेरो समाजमा हेर्दै गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ सानो उमेरमा 20 वर्ष नपुगिकन विवाह गर्ने प्रचलन चाहिँ एकदमै बढिरहेको छ। जो पहिला चाहिँ अब आफ्नो अभिभावकले आफ्नो प्यारेन्ट्सले चाहिँ बाल विवाह गराइदिन्थ्यो भने अहिले स्वयं बालबालिकाले नै बाल विवाह गर्ने अवस्था चाहिँ देखिएको भएर बाल विवाहले अनेकौं समस्याहरू निम्त्याउने र त्यसलाई चाहिँ न्यूनीकरण गर्नुपर्छ भनेर चाहिँ मैले बाल विवाह न्यूनीकरण गर्नका लागि चाहिँ यो कामहरू गर्दै गरेको छु। बाल विवाह न्यूनीकरण गर्नका लागि खास गरेर हामीले समाजमा चाहिँ बाल विवाह कसरी हुन्छ त्यसलाई कसरी न्यूनीकरण गर्नुपर्छ भनेर सडक नाटक, घर दैलो अनि सरकारवालाहरूसँग चाहिँ अन्तर्क्रिया उन बाल विवाह न्यूनीकरण गर्नको लागि जस्तो धेरै बालबालिकाहरूलाई तालिमको आवश्यक परेको हुन्छ। बाल विवाहका असरका बारेमा जान्नुपर्ने हुन्छ। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि हाम्रो स्थानीय सरकारसँग पनि बजेट विनियोजनका कुराहरू गरिरहेका छौँ। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि थोरै भए पनि बालबालिकाको क्षेत्रमा काम गर्ने अवसर मिल्छ। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि थोरै भए पनि चाहिँ बालबालिकाले बाल विवाहका असरका बारेमा जान्छन् र बाल विवाह न्यूनीकरण हुन्छ भन्ने सोचेर चाहिँ हामीले स्थानीय सरकारसँग बजेट विनियोजनका लागि कुरा गरेका छौँ र उहाँहरूले छुट्याइदिनु पनि भएको छ। र अर्को कुरा चाहिँ बाल विवाहलाई हामीले भनिराख्दाखेरि कसैले चाहिँ जानी पनि आफैले बाल विवाह गरेर हुन्छ, उसको असरको बारेमा पनि थाहा हुन्छ, कानुनी प्रोसेसको बारेमा पनि थाहा हुँदाखेरि पनि उनीहरूले बाल विवाह गर्छ भने उनीहरूलाई कानुनी पाटोतिर पनि अलिकता लैजाँदाखेरि अरूले पनि त्यसको डर मान्छन् कि भनेर हामीले प्रहरी प्रशासनसँग पनि समन्वय गर्ने गरेका छौँ। र फर्स्टमा चाहिँ बाल विवाह हुने गरेको मैले देखेको मेरो चाहिँ यो महिनावारी जो हाम्रो समाजमा महिनावारी बार्ने चलन छ, त्यसलाई छुई भन्छ अथवा नछुने भन्छ होइन। ती बार्दै गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ आफ्नो माइतमा अथवा विवाह नगर्दैको घरमा महिनावारी बार्दाखेरि चाहिँ अलिकति समस्या हुने गर्छ। घर बाहिर बस्नुपर्ने हुन्छ, केही कुरा छुन पाउँदैन, मन्दिर जान पाउँदैन, विद्यालयहरू पनि जान पाउँदैन। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो घर छाडेर कहिले जाउँ अन्त होइन। अनि महिनावारी नबार्ने ठाउँ हाम्रो नेपाली समुदायमा कतिपय ठाउँहरूमा चाहिँ यस्तो पनि छ जहाँ चाहिँ महिनावारी बार्दैन, उसलाई चाहिँ सिम्पल तरिकाले लिन्छ। त्यो अवस्थामा चाहिँ इभन मलाई पनि फिलिङ भएको थियो पहिला चाहिँ म महिनावारी भएको बेला मलाई छुट्टै बस्नुपर्ने हुन्थ्यो। मैले केही छुन पाउँदिनँ थिएँ, धाराहरू पनि छुन पाउँदिनँ थिएँ। टाढाको खोलामा गएर लुगा धुन पर्थ्यो, नुहाउनु पर्थ्यो। अनि 7 दिनसम्म घर बाहिर बस्नु पर्थ्यो। त्यति बेला चाहिँ मलाई कस्तो फिलिङ हुन्थ्यो भने मैले यो घर छोडेर कहिले जाम्ला, अनि जहाँ चाहिँ मैले महिनावारी मुक्त ठाउँ भएको, सधैँ जस्तै मैले भान्सामा जान पाउने ठाउँमा जान पाएको भए हुन्थ्यो भन्ने लाग्छ। यहाँनिर चाहिँ मैले के जोड्न चाहेको भन्दा यो महिनावारी बाढ्दै गर्दाखेरि बालविवाह पनि निम्तिने गर्छ। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि पछिल्लो समयमा बालविवाहलाई रोक्नकै लागि भए पनि अब यो महिनावारी मर्यादित महिनावारीलाई चाहिँ अगाडि बढाउँदै लैजानुपर्छ भन्ने मेरो सोच भएर मैले समीरजीसँग पनि उहाँसँग धेरै सहयोग पनि लिइसकेको छु। उहाँले मलाई सहयोग पनि गरिराख्नु भएको छ र यो सुरुवात चाहिँ मेरो घरबाटै गरेको छु। मेरो घरमा चाहिँ अहिले महिनावारीलाई लिएर अलिकति थोरै भए पनि फरक विचार ल्याउनु भएको छ। म घरभित्रै बस्छु, सबै धाराहरू छुन्छु, आफ्नै घर युज गर्छु। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि मैले यति थोरै मात्रै मेहनत गर्दाखेरि यति परिवर्तन आउँछ भने अब भने म मेरो साथीहरू, मेरो सानो भाइ बहिनीहरू लगायत मेरो समाजलाई चाहिँ मर्यादित महिनावारीका बारेमा सिकाउँछु र महिनावारी भएका जो बालिका हुन्छन्, जो नारी हुन्छन्, उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ विभेद होइन, छुवाछुत होइन कि सबै सरह समान हक दिनुपर्छ भन्नका लागि चाहिँ म लड्न चाहन्छु र मलाई यो बोल्ने मौका दिनुभएकोमा एकदमै धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद। Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anu. So well said. So I will give a little summary of what Anu shared. Anu first started off by expressing that the idea of child marriage and the tradition of child marriage has been something that is common in her community. And this is something that she has grown up understanding and hearing and seeing. She expresses that previously the idea around child marriage was more centered on the family forcing the younger children to get married, as was the social tradition. But a unique sort of circumstance has come now where you will see that younger children are getting married by themselves and not necessarily from their families' pressure. So, and this can be in forms of love or friendship. And so the work that she's been doing is working with local community leaders, with the police, with the local government to silo away budget and accountability and a initiative to end child marriage. And so right now they are focusing on sort of educating the youth on the importance of, waiting for marriage, the importance of, making sure that their marriage is legal, making sure that they know that they should be focused on, school and careers and other work opportunities. And in general, just trying to increase the quality of life where these youths are at the moment, so they're not looking for an escape through marriage. A unique kind of perspective she shares is that sometimes young menstruators maybe have a very strict household where they have a lot of restrictions around menstruation, and some common ones are having to live outside the house for the days of your bleeding, having to not being able to use the water source at your house, or go in the kitchen, or go in the prayer room to pray, or in some cases being able to really touch or talk and be around the non-menstruators in your family. So that would be like your father or grandfather or brothers, and the idea that these menstruators might have been looking for households or places, different communities where the restriction is less than their own house. So, I think that kind of again points to the idea that there's, always these menstruators looking for safe spaces where they can be safe in their bodies when they're menstruating or not. And that was really just so beautifully well said. And I think there has been some progress in the area, but the main thing again revolves around the idea of dignified menstruation. And have we obtained dignified menstruation, then it would result in eliminating child marriage, because again, with dignified menstruation comes body literacy and empowerment, and the idea of honoring oneself and having that dignity. So thank you so much, Anu. And also Samir, for Anu has pointed out, a lot of work has been done from Samir as well in helping. And so I wanted to highlight that, as we know that it's, so important for non-menstruators to be involved in this work and in this initiative. So thank you. I see that our last narrative sharing experience, I think will be done by Sydney. Can you hear me, Sydney? Are you able to share with us? I know you were having a little bit of internet issue as well. So perhaps she might still be experiencing some internet issues. So I think we should go ahead and move forward and into the next portion of our event. And here I would like to ask Irfan from Global South Coalition for Dignified Menstruation, Pakistan, to share a little bit.
Thank you, Millie. Happy International Day of Girl Child to everyone. My name is Irfan, and my organization name is The Awakening, and we are part of the Global South Coalition for Dignified Menstruation Pakistan chapter. We are a member to that. I would like to share, there was some really heart-touching stories that I heard, and I could relate to that because we have been working on similar issues. And the story that Rinku shared, and also the Anu pointed out about girls being at a small age. But first, I would like to share that during our program, we envision a world where no girl is left behind and can exercise their human rights to create a world where all humans are treated equally. Some of our programs include that we empower young people like boys and girls by increasing their access to information, services, and leadership opportunities, thereby enabling them to understand, to realize their rights, actually. So we have different kind of programs which circulates around menstruators. Like we have programs on menstruation in Pakistan, then we have programs on abortion care, HIV/AIDS, we have one leadership program for young adolescent girls. We call it the EGAC, Empowering Girl as Agents of Change. So to amplify adolescent girls' voices and increase their representation in efforts to highlight child marriages, menstrual hygiene management, and promote their leadership role through these young girls' leadership programs. So menstruation is an integral and normal part of human life and of human existence, and menstrual hygiene is fundamental to the dignity and well-being of menstruators and an important part of the basic hygiene, sanitation, and reproductive health services. So in Pakistan, I would like to share experiences from Pakistan. So menstruators in rural settings, and in particularly girls in schools, suffer from from stigma and lack of proper knowledge and understanding about the services and facilities to help them cope with the physical and psychological pains that they undergo during their menstrual periods. And our survey also shows that almost 70% of the girls in schools report to miss 1 to 3 days of primary school per month, which translates to a loss of almost like between 10 to 24 days per year, which affects their education severely. One of the things that clicked my mind was from Anu, when she shared about the girls that they are being married at small age. We also have we also are facing similar kind of a situation here in Pakistan, because we, at The Awakening, are co-pioneer of two young girl groups. One is called the Girls United for Human Rights, and the other is called the Mashal Girls Foundation. So we support them in their programs and try to build their capacity so that they could achieve their goals and the vision that they are working towards. And one important thing is that, like, girls being married at early age. So in this case, there is a lot of responsibility on the parent side. Like, if young girls are being married so at young age, so they need to be like trained in to learn what is like at this age, what are the changes that are going on through in their bodies, what are the hormonal changes that are being going on in their bodies, and what is like real love and what is infatuation. It is very important for them to understand that at small age, because many girls here, like I will talk about the area where we live, many young girls are being tricked by boys and even elder men. Like they will say that they will marry to them, and when they like have sexual relationship with them, and in many cases the girls become when pregnant, so the men or the boys, they then do not like to have further relations with them, which results, in many cases it has resulted in like in honor crimes, like they are being killed by their families, or like they have committed suicide. So we have observed this phenomena here, and in this case we plan to build the capacity of these young girls from schools, from communities, from colleges, to take in to take informed decisions about their life and the way that they are being treated or misguided. Being a member of the Global South Coalition on Dignified Menstruation, I would like to share a little bit progress about the work that we are doing. It's really been an honor, like when I first joined the alliance, the membership. So we have worked on translating posters from English to into our Urdu language in Pakistan for Pakistani communities, and also we have started social media campaigns. We also have initiated a Facebook page dedicated for dignified menstruation. I would like to encourage all the members. I will also share its link here in the chat box. And being learning from you, Millie, like when you shared about the strategic plan, so from North America, so we also had clicked an idea that we should also have a strategic plan for Pakistan chapter. So we have carved out a plan. I also had shared it with Sapna and Radha also. If you are interested, and because we want to be it more inclusive and we want to share it with as many people to make it better and like to be more like nothing is left in that also. So we would like to share it with you also. And we are also working on a menstrual hygiene strategy for Pakistan, because in Pakistan we do not have that menstrual hygiene management strategy. So it is also in the pipeline. One other important thing which I would like to share is about menstruation. So our organization has we have developed certain materials like comic books and also some booklets and audio visual review. It is available on YouTube. I will share its link in the chat box now. And we have a comic book about menstrual hygiene management, though it is in Urdu. We have a version in Urdu which is easily understandable in Hindi, because Urdu Hindi, it's not that difficult in when you are speaking it. So that's why for greater audience, we made that in Urdu language, so that many audience from the Asian region could understand what is in that comic book and what is the information that we want to share with them. Beside this, I would like to share about some of our girls leadership programs. Like in our programs, we also engage girls and boys groups. We form them and then we build their capacity in sexual reproductive health and education, and empowering girls as agents of change that I already shared previously. And we formed the girls school health clubs schools, so so that the girls could better understand and know about their sexual and reproductive health and how to claim their bodily rights. So these are some of the updates from my side about the Pakistan chapter, and I would like to love answers if there are any questions from the members or from the our young girls members. We
Thank you,
would love
Irfan.
to work in collaboration with them also from different parts of the world.
Yes, I definitely agree. And thank you so much. There has been a lot of excellent work. And I think it's so important to point out that's going to take all of us in all the different work that we do to create that kind of change. I know that I saw Intu around. Intu, did you want to share a little bit of your experiences? And give us a little introduction of who you are as well. I think you're mute.
Sorry. Hi everyone. I am India representing the Center for Human Resource Development as well as Global South Coalition for Dignified Menstruation. Yes, I am very proud of all the members because you have done several experiences, several activities also doing at this moment. Within short period, we have reached more top level stone within short period. So really excited. At the same time, I would like to share something about our country's activities during these days, especially from today, International Day of the Girl Child. In 17 district, we are doing some community level activities, especially more than 200 youth group members receive the knowledge on the dignified menstruation. Now they have organizing there some specific activities during these days, especially in second time. Most of the organizations and other community people also heard about this International Day for Girl Child. So this is a good time to talk about their rights, especially girls' rights, because due to economic crisis and financial related crisis, the people most affected by this situation. However, at this moment, the school girls are going to drop from the schools due to the economic burden. At the same time, most of the girls are avoid to go to school during the period. The period also because they have no capacity to purchase the pads. So like these issues also it's ongoing in the country. At the same time, we want to bring the awareness through the community. They should understand what's the right of the girls. At the same time, they have to understand what's the role of their to how can we say come from these issues. However, at this moment, they have recently we have our youth group members recently have done several community researches. So especially school dropout, then teen marriages, at the same time menstrual health related issues, then child abuse, at the some sanitary products like these issues, then social media like these issues. They have a focus to bring the information through their community research. Recently, they have released some of the research. At the same time, they are going to disseminate their research during the international conference in December 8th in Sri Lanka. So like these initiatives they have taken. At the same time, today is also schools and civil society organizations, state officials and community people. They are commemorating this day with our youth group members. This is also another milestone in the country because the first time they have heard about some of the schools to commemorate this day. So like these things we are doing in Sri Lanka through the Sri Lanka chapter as well as with the Center for Human Resource Development. I think these are the things we are implementing and continuing. Then if you have any questions, you can ask during the session. Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. Then our most of our youth group members also join in the discussion. They can also share something if you want to know anything. Okay, thank you very much.
Perfect, Intu. Thank you so much. There's been fabulous work in all different spheres, and Intu is also involved in the government level. So that's been really excellent to see. And I think you really brought up one thing that we haven't discussed so far, which is economic burden of menstrual products that that lay on the menstruator, as well as there's a social burden of menstrual products as well. The idea that we should be hiding away the blood, that no one should ever see the blood. And so I think you really expressed that well. So thank you so much, Inthu. I'd like to ask Samir to end our sort of narrative storytelling and sharing of our experiences.
Thank you so much, Millie. It's me, Samir Pariyar, Dignified Menstruation Campaign Nepal National Coordinator, and I am currently working with the Child Clubs for making the Dignified Menstruation with Child Club to make everyone to learn about the dignified menstruation. And currently we are running the live webinar with various people who are working with the dignified menstruation, and we are now we are working to connect the dignified menstruation with various days like Valentine Day, like festivals, and we are also connected currently in Nepal. There is a great festival called Dasai, and we are connecting with the Dasai. Dasai is a great festival where people put tika and blessing from the elders, and also people from the various background are also having the stigma and taboos that during the menstruation, girls are not allowed to take part in the Dasai and put tika and also blessing from the elders. But we are working with that, and we are also doing the social media webinar, and we are taking the thoughts and views from various activities, and also we are publishing it to the our campaign page, Dignified Menstruation campaign page, from where we make the awareness. And from that campaign we have got a message from 8 to 10 girls who are putting tikas and blessing from their elders during the menstruation. That is the first step we have started to bring a change. And also we are currently working with various NGOs, INGOs, and also the local government. NGOs, INGOs are working for few days and few hours, but local government and government, if government take the ownership, then it will be take a last long. So we are working with the local government to make the dignified menstruation sustainable. And also in currently we are and I like to share my experience from my home. I started to make my home dignified menstruation friendly. First of all, I started to share what is the menstruation and what are the currently stigma is still prevalent in our society. At first, I started to make my mother menstruation dignified. Then after I started to make my sister, because my sister is coming and she's having the menstruation. So thought I started to make my sister what is menstruation and how it is practicing. And for that, we started to celebrate my sister's first menstruation from home. And currently, every year, the first menstruation day, that is in Bhadra 15, we celebrate as a menstruation day. And from there, we started till now, she has celebrated third menstrual day. And currently, we are practicing it. And also from that, many friends are practicing it. And we are now, there is no types of discrimination at our home. My mother is cooking, she is worshipping, my sister is still practice worshipping. And in Hindu religion there is a thought that the dead spiritual is not allowed to take part during the menstruation, but my mother and my daughter, my sister, they take the part in the death spiritual of my grandmother. So from here I started, and currently I am working in a community with my club, and also we are celebrating the dignified menstruation day every year. And currently also we are targeting to celebrate a cultural program with adding the dignified menstruation, that is Tihar. Hindus second great festival Tihar is coming in the home, so we are targeting to celebrate culturally with the dignified menstruation. So it will make people are thinking that menstruation is practicing due to the tradition. So to in that taboos we are continue it, and we will continue live webinar. We are also continue the social media campaigning, when we are also connecting the various activities like Mehendi, Dasai, Tihar, Valentine Days, and birthday anniversary with dignified menstruation to bring the changes. But we are still practicing, but we need a new thing, new innovation, new creation. So we are doing something new in Nepal. And also we are running monthly meeting with the activities from all over the Nepal. what is the activities, what are the progressing, so that we can make a new things and new activities. And also we are continuing to social webinar, and also we are doing it. And currently we are engaged to children's, because children's are the future builders of the nation. So to bring the changes and to bring the dignified menstruation as a friendly environment, so we are currently working with the children's. And also in Sunwal, we are working with the local government. So government is doing the policy, and currently in coming days we will work with the government to make a policy, to make a program. And further we are working with the girls, because girls are the pillar of the family. So we are working with the girls to make a dignified menstruation friendly home, society, nation, and international. So at last, I would like to say thank you for giving the opportunity to have my experience with you all, and also making the Dignified Menstruation Campaign Nepal as a solidarity partner of this event. And also I would like to say Happy International Girls Child Day to all the girls who are making the changes in the society positively, and all the stakeholders who are supporting the girls and all the dignified menstruation for making the changes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Samir. Wow, I think one of the most common questions I get asked is, what can non-menstruators do for dignified menstruation? And I think you really pointed out and exemplified what you can do. One, to empower yourself, to educate yourself, so that now you can educate the menstruators in your life, your mother, your sister, your friends. And the idea that you're celebrating the annual first day of your sister's menarche is amazing. I mean, I couldn't stop smiling. I think that's fabulous. That's just such a powerful statement to make, and that's such a powerful stance for you to take, especially in a society where not doing it is actually can look positionally better for you, but you are committed to this work and you're committed to dignity, and that's so clear to see. So thank you so much. It's so powerful. And I think that your sister and your mother are unfortunately in a situation where it's so lucky to have a non-menstruator like you in the household. But the good thing is that you are taking this initiative, this advocacy, and you're changing other non-menstruators and menstruators alike. So good luck with the rest of the work, and we want to continue hearing more. But thank you so much to all the participants for all the narrative storytelling, for all the work that we've been doing in these different parts of the global world. We're all unified in that we're looking for a way to make this these small pieces of our community habitable and dignified and safe, and so that menstruators and non-menstruators alike can not just be trying to survive, but so that they can thrive. So that what could the possibilities be that we could do if we weren't if you weren't stopped by these barriers, by these, by these human rights violations. So again, to recap, as we know, Global South Coalition for Dignified Menstruation simply strives to obtain this inalienable dignity for every single individual during menstruation and beyond. We are a collective international coalition group of diverse organizations and individuals from the Global South, originating from the Global South, but have now expanded just all over the globe to transform the menstruation movement to center dignity as the mechanism of dismantling the structural, institutional, and personal beliefs and behaviors that discriminate against menstruators and menstruation. And we envision a world that's free from any form of abuse, discrimination, violence associated with menstruation, because every menstruator deserves freedom from this form of violence and the opportunity to obtain dignity. So we're excited to continue to celebrate International Girls Child Day. We hope that you will get to celebrate with your community members. And we also want to remind you and encourage you to continue to celebrate the International Dignified Menstruation Day, which is December 8th. We hope you'll join us in our third annual celebration of this day. We'll be having different programs. Please check back in at our Facebook, Instagram, email serve list, website, and we hope to partner in the future with AHF from different corners of the world. So thank you so much, everybody. And I hope that wherever you are, you'll have a good night or evening or morning or good day. Thank you so much. And I see
Thank you.
hearts in
Thank
the
you.
chat as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Congress.
Good job, Girls Act Philippines. You guys were so great. So proud.